So this particular bread that I'm going to show you today is a pan bread. So we're going to use about a cup of flour, so which is about 235 milliliters of flour. So we're going to put a cup of flour in here. As we often say here, remember to use your baking powder and not baking soda. And we're going to need 2 teaspoons. So 1 and 2 teaspoons. So we have about a teaspoon of salt. And what I'm going to do right now is with those dry ingredients that are in my bowl, I mix them through when they're dry, because the only other ingredient we're going to be adding to this is we're going to add some Greek yogurt. If you don't mix your dry ingredients, your baking powder is probably not going to get well distributed. So just make sure that you give it a good stir so you get the salt, the flour, and the baking powder really well mixed. And our last ingredient, we've got some nice plain Greek yogurt. So there's the 235 milliliters. So now what we want to do is we need to blend this mixture together. And it's interesting how it comes together because the yogurt and the flour, and it is going to form a dough. And I'm just going to roll the dough a little bit, and you make a decision on sort of what size you want your flatbreads to be. So I'm going to use about this size. If there's golfers out there, it's about the size of a golf ball. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pat it out. The other thing I like about this recipe is they don't have to be perfect in their size. We're going to pat them out and we're going to put them into the pan with a little bit of olive oil. I'm going to put a little bit of flour on my hand. Here we go. To finish patting out my flatbread. Or pan bread, as we would call it. So once I put it into the pan, I'm just going to flatten it out a little bit more. So these are absolutely perfect, Mom. Awesome job. So there's a little flatbread, and you can use these to make a sandwich. Put your eggs, whatever you want. But what I'm going to do, and this pan bread is still a little warm, is I'm going to take that garlic and I'm rubbing the raw garlic on my bread. This will change your garlic bread in your life. Smell that, Mom.
Oh, nice.
You really don't see it, but I can promise you the flavor in this is very, very rich. That could be eaten as is. I'm just going to put a few little herbs across the top of this, and I'm just going to take a little bit of olive oil. So we're just going to add a little tiny bit of olive oil across the top. And there we have a garlic pan bread with a bit of oil and fresh thyme. Dried oregano would be really wonderful on it, or
a piece of basil. Definitely.
Nice fresh basil across the top of that.